See, good morning to you all. The perfect one. What's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Mindset Masters is in the building. What's up, Queen? What's up, babe? Charcel, so happy to see you too, beloved. So happy to see you too. What's up, Nish? Kim's in the building. What's up, Kim? Sefe, what's up, family? So good to see you. Silver CEO was in the building. What's up, beloved? So good to see you. Where's that Alana at? No, she ain't far behind. So good to see you all. So good to see you all. Yeah, we got mountains to climb, Sefe. You already know. Sefe, you know the drill. Sefe said, man, we got mountains to climb, man. We got mountains to climb. Do me a favor real quick, you guys. Share the live to your stories. Red, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Do me a favor, share the live to your stories. Share the live to your stories. What's up, Nephi? So good to see you, beloved. Christy's in the building. All is well. All is well. Everything is in a mess and all is well. That's the most beautiful part of life. All is well. The mess is only in your mind, not in reality. What's up, Valerie? So good to see you. Good morning, Red. Good morning to you, beloved. Kev, what's up, Kev? Got Mindset Masters family in the building. So good to see you all. So good to see you all. Chosen is in the building. What's up, Chosen? Fantabulous is in the building. Mindset Masters family is in the building. T-Benz, come on, T-Benz. Come on, T-Benz. I know you've been rocking with me for a minute. T-Benz, I already know. T-Benz, some of the answer, yep. Welcome to Lion School. Come on, Red, we got to let them know, beloved. Welcome to Lion School. We don't have time for the gazelles. I don't coach sheep. Welcome to Lion School. What's up, Tanisha? So good to see you. Welcome to Lion School. Period. He got my lighter. I see you. That part right there, Tanisha. All is well. All is well. Everything is in the mess and all is well. Joanna's in the building. What's up, Joanna? So good to see you. Prashana's in the building. Let's get it. Bella, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Love you too. Seatbelts on. Savvy swag, I see you. What's up, Nate? So good to see you all. So good to see you all. Big Samson, doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Better than I deserve. Thank you so much. Better than I deserve. Better than I deserve. Do me a favor, real quick. That part right there says it's better than medicine time. The book is, I think it's $29 on Amazon. It's somewhere in that ballpark on Amazon. Come on, I see you. I see you right there, nephew. You ain't lying when you said that. If you breathing, you doing good. That part right there. If you woke up this morning, you doing good. We don't. I mean, it's 39. Okay, Valerie, thank you, beloved. Yeah, the book is 39. This is the book, The Secret of Awareness. How powerful are you ready to be? The Secret of Awareness. How powerful are you ready to be? By Jordan Williams. Do me a favor, real quick. Let's get the likes up, you guys, so that we can get the medicine out. Do me a favor and share the live to your stories. If you haven't already done so, please do me a favor and share the live to your stories. Lynetta, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Again, if you haven't already done so, share the live to your stories, please. What's up, Ellie? If you haven't already done so, share the live to your stories, please. Today is going to be powerful. Welcome to Lion School. Type, type me in the comments if this is your very first time on a live with me, type me in the comments, please. If this is your very first time on a live stream with me, type me. Okay. All right. Got it. Got some me's. What's up, Pam? I see you. Got some me's. Got some me's. What's up, Deborah? What's up, Keisha? Real quick, my name is Jordan Williams. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in mindset mastery, period. That's my strength. I specialize in self-mastery. I specialize in self-awareness. I specialize in consciousness, in relationship mastery. That's where I'm the strongest. I've been coaching now for over 2 decades now. I've been the secret weapon for a lot of people that you've seen in movies, that you've seen in the Olympics, that you've seen in the boxing ring. I've been the secret weapon for a lot of people, and you will understand why I've been the secret weapon for a lot of people if you just stay tuned. I am also the best-selling author of this book, The Secret of Awareness, How Powerful Are You Ready to Be? This book is a bestseller. The book is a game changer. It's rare that you get to shadow box with the author of a book, and you get to kind of walk through that person's mind, to understand, how certain things, came to be. And that's kind of what this platform is all about. The platform is all about mindset mastery. It's about, loving yourself unconditionally. It's about, becoming the greatest version of yourself, stepping into your potential if you don't know what that is, or stepping into your purpose, rather, discovering what your potential is, because you don't know the limits of your potential until you first discover your purpose, right? Because your potential is connected to your purpose. So if I never discover my purpose, then I don't know what my potential was, right? How do I know what my potential is if I don't even know the purpose? And so goal number 1 is for me to help you to get to your purpose. Once we help you to get to your purpose, then you know what your ceiling is. Some of you guys are looking at yourself through yesterday's eyes because you don't know your purpose. You haven't discovered yourself that deeply. Only the manufacturer knows your purpose. I don't think you heard any of what I just said. I said only the manufacturer knows your purpose, not me, not your friends, not your significant other, not all of the things that may have happened to you leading up to this moment. Only the manufacturer knows what your purpose is. Your value does not come from anything outside of you. Your value does not come from your level of education. Your value does not come from your achievements in life. Your value does not come from your fame or your popularity or who you promote yourself as on social media. It's not where your value comes from. Your value is directly connected to your purpose. Your purpose is what gives you value. And we don't know what the strength of your purpose is, which means we don't know what the strength of your value is. Here's something else that you need to understand. You don't even know your value. You don't give yourself value. You don't place value on you. You don't have the power to place value on yourself because you're not the creator. Only the creator of the thing can place value on it. I'll give you an example of what I mean. If you create some new phone, you are the only person in the history of this planet that can say what that phone is worth. I can't say what it's worth. The man across the street from your house can't say what it's worth. If you create some new car, nobody can tell you what the car is worth. Only you can say what the car is worth because you know what went into the car. You know what it took to create the car. So you are the only person that can say what that car is worth. Other people can assume, but nobody knows. The car doesn't even know its value. Only the creator of that vehicle will know. Same thing applies to you. Your purpose comes from God, which means your value also comes from him. Your value does, and that's the problem right there. You get your value from how popular you are. You get your value from likes and shares. You get your value from comparing yourself to other people. You get your value from your level of all worldly stuff. but you're a spiritual being. So make that make sense. You're a spiritual being, but you're measuring yourself by worldly achievements and worldly accolades and what this person over here did and what this. Come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? For you to say that you know your value, you're only saying that because you're measuring yourself against something else. It's the only way you can say that. Your value is directly connected to your purpose. And until we discover what your purpose is, we don't know what your value is. You may be underscoring your value. You may be greatly devaluing yourself right now. But your value is always connected to your purpose and its function. That's where your value comes from, your purpose and its function. What can it do? That's what gives you your value. Not what I say, not what somebody else says. So we don't know what it is. And that's what spiritual awakening is about. It's about you going on that journey to discover your purpose. Once I discover my purpose, then I understand how I function. I understand what my ceiling is. I understand what my potential is. But how do I know what my potential is if I haven't discovered my purpose as of yet? That's spiritual common sense. Your value is not connected to your education. I don't give a damn if you got 1,000 PhDs. That's not your value. Doesn't come from that. I don't give a damn if you got every diamond in this country. Your value doesn't come from that. That's all worldly stuff. Your value doesn't come from who's loving you and who's chasing you. Your value comes directly from your purpose. Because your purpose is what gives you value. Your purpose is what gives you significance. And then connected to your purpose is potential. That's when it gets sexy, because now we don't know what the potential of the thing is. It's like a Honda Accord. Once we understand its purpose, okay, well, what's the potential of the car? Rolls Royce. Okay, once we understand its purpose, what's the potential of it? Now we get and fly. But the Rolls Royce can't borrow its purpose from the Honda Accord, and the Honda Accord can't borrow its purpose from the Rolls Royce. They're two completely different things. Yeah, they're both automobiles, but they're two completely different things. So when you're measuring yourself against somebody else, that's the equivalent of the Rolls Royce measuring itself against the Honda Accord, or vice versa. You're gonna lose. Two completely different things. Country Onion, I see you. Big homie, I see you. All right, let's get busy. Like I said again, we got mountains to climb. Jazzy's, I see you. What's up, Monica? So good to see you. So good to see you all. So good to see you all. Let's get busy, getting busy. Come on, Stephanie, I see you. Big homie, I see you. Beauty P, I see you. Peace and blessings to you all. Again, do me a favor real quick before we go deep sea diving. That part right there, Ellie, that part right there. So good to see you, beloved. Do me a favor real quick and share the live. Okay, so again, if you're new to the platform, again, my name is Jordan Williams. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in self-awareness, self-mastery, relationship mastery, consciousness. I specialize, my purpose in life is to help you discover yours, period. That's my purpose. If you enjoy, TED Talk caliber conversations, this is going to be a TED Talk on steroids. On steroids. In fact, for every, just imagine every TED Talk you've ever watched all rolled into one right now. That's what you're getting ready to see. I've been coaching now for 2 decades. I've coached some of the most powerful people on the face of this earth. And again, my purpose in life is simply to help you discover yours. I don't need a high five when I do it. I've done it for tens of thousands of people, because you can be successful in life and still be out of alignment with your purpose. You can be walking around with a PhD right now and be out of alignment with your purpose. You can have an MBA right now and be out of alignment with your purpose. So whatever you've achieved in life doesn't mean that you're in alignment with your purpose. And how you'll know is because you won't be fulfilled. Yeah, you got the certifications. Yeah, you got the degrees. Yeah, you got the money. Yeah, you got the kids. Yeah, you got the house, but you still feel empty inside. That's how you know. That's the number one indicator. Yeah, you got the stuff, but you empty on the inside. You don't feel fulfilled. Yeah, isolation is the best place in the world to discover your purpose, because God will never anoint you around a bunch of people. He's going to remove you first, right? And when he removes you, it's going to almost feel like a punishment, because you're going to lose people when you are on the journey of becoming the greatest version of yourself. You're going to lose people, but you're not really losing them. What's happening is that you are those people were connected to a version of you that you no longer are. So it's going to feel like you're losing people, but those people were connected to a version of you that you no longer are, a version of you that no longer serves you. Certain people came into your life for a version of you that you're no longer going to become, or that you're no longer going to be. You're transitioning into something else. You're becoming something greater, right? So they came in as a version of you that was the lower version of you, a version of you that was operating out of your ego personality, a version of you that was operating from the mask, a version of you that was operating from your persona, a version of you that was operating from your reputation, and God is transforming you into something different. So all of those people that were connected to those versions of you that no longer serve you can't go where you're going next. And let me tell you why. Because they can only remind you of who you used to be. They can't reflect who you're becoming. They can only remind you of who you used to be. They can't reflect who you're becoming. They don't have the mental capacity, not because they're bad. It doesn't have nothing to do with them. They just can't reflect who you're becoming. God is going to remove every person from your life that cannot reflect who you are becoming. Unless that person is a door for you, right? We talk about that. Every person that enters your life is either a mirror, a window, or a door. I've got doors in my life that can't reflect who I'm becoming, but they're still good for me spiritually. My mom is one of them, for a great example. My mom doesn't have a self-aware bone in her body. She doesn't know that her son is out here changing the world. She has no idea, right? She doesn't have a self-aware bone in her body, but my mom is good for my spirit because she reminds me of where I come from. And so people that that pour into you, that just love you unconditionally, don't want anything from you, they don't need anything from you. They always checking on you. He will never remove people like that. My mom is my medicine. So it for me, and she raised me by herself. So that relationship, but she pours into me to the best of her abilities. Are you eating? Are you taking care of yourself? You working out? You drinking plenty of water? You getting some rest? Don't let them people stress you out. Them type of people. All right. Let's get busy getting busy. We got work to do. So again, Neptune, what's up, Neptune? So good to see you, family. So again, you're going to have some doors in your life. Again, everybody is either a mirror, a window, or a door. You're going to have some doors in your life that don't reflect who you're becoming, but they reflect who you used to be. But they reflect who you used to be in the most positive way possible. The most positive way possible, right? Not people that just remember when you messed up and remember when you did this, and remember when you did, not those kind of people. Right. So I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. Sandy, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Yep. Natasha, yeah. Mirror, window, or doors. What's up, Queen? So good to see you. Yeah, every person is one of the three. Your job as a master of self, or while you're in the process of becoming a master of self, is to know how to categorize each, right? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Jazz. Absolutely, Jazz. Absolutely, beloved. Let's get busy getting busy. We got a lot of road. We got some serious mountains to climb. I'm telling you, we're gonna go to, I'm talking about we ain't going to the bottom of the ocean today. We're going to the top of Mount Everest. The air is thin up there, I'm telling you now. So good to see you too, beloved. The air is thin up there, I'm telling you right now. Absolutely. Life is a single player game. Do not play it at a multiplayer level. If you play life at a multiplayer level, you're gonna lose every single time. All right, boom. Let me ask you a question real quick. Let's talk about what we know, not what we assume. We got time for assumptions. Let's talk about what we know, not what we assume. Watch this. Here's what we know. You are a three-part being. That's what we know. We ain't got to assume. We don't need to read a book. We don't need to call anybody. That part we know. You can understand that right now in this moment. You are a three-part being in this moment. You are a physical body. You have a soul. You have a spirit. That's universal truth. One more time. You are a three-part being. You have a physical body. You have a soul. You have a spirit. That's universal truth. That's God's truth. That's your truth. Okay, let's put that over here. So the billion-dollar question is, which one of those versions of you carries your pain? That might be the most important question in the history of important questions. Which one of those versions of you carries your pain? I see mind, I see soul, body. Pam says all of them. Physical, soul, mind. You got some way off here. Way off here. Somebody even said spirit, way off here. None of them. Not one. Your ego carries your pain. That's it. Your ego is the carrier of your pain. That's who's carrying your pain right now. Let me tell you how. Because your ego is focused right now on remaining in power. And the only way that your ego can remain in power is to keep you focused on the future or the past. Your ego is not a part of this moment. Your ego is something that you mentally project onto this moment, but it's not a part of the moment. It operates out of a very small part of your mind. And what's important for you to understand, your ego has you focused on the past, your ego has you focused on the future. And that's why it's so hard for you to stay present, because you've been the ego for so long. You've identified with your ego for so long. For so long that you've given it in an identity. Anything that you believe in, it manifests, you create. You believe in your ego. But you also believe in the past. That's what's hurting you. You also believe in the future. That's what's hurting you. Wherever you set your belief down, that thing materializes. Even though the future is not real, even though the past is not real, the only thing that's real is this moment. So your ego has you trapped in psychological time. That's what's hurting you, beloved. You're trapped in psychological time. And here's the problem. Because you believe in your past, you also have created stories about your past. You've created stories about the future. But if the future isn't real, and if the past isn't real, that can only mean that the stories that you create about the future in the past aren't real either. How could the stories be real if the past isn't real? There's only this moment. But your ego has you trapped in what we call psychological time. You've got clock time, which is, okay, I got to be to this doctor's appointment at 4 o'clock. Okay, that's important. I got to be over here at noon to get my kids. Okay, that's important. I've got to go to dinner tonight at 7 p.m. Okay, that's important. That's clock time. Clock time is only designed to keep you organized. Psychological time is past or future, but past or future doesn't exist, beloved. Can we go there right now? For all of the power that you have, can we step into the past right now for even 5 seconds? Just 5 seconds. Not asking for a lot. Can we jump in the car and drive to what you call the past right now? But look how much time you spend thinking about it. And we can't drive to the future right now. We can't leave this moment right now. No matter what time I ask you, and here's the thing. Watch how powerful this is. You can only experience the past in the present. You can only experience the future in the present. You can only experience your pain, even though your pain is trapped in a memory trace. You can only experience it in the present. So even when you're thinking about your past, you're thinking about it in the present. When you're thinking about the future, you're thinking about it in the present. You are never not in the present, beloved. There is no future. There is no past. There's just this moment. But your ego has you convinced that there is a future, that there is a past. And that's why you're always oscillating between the two. Your ego has done a fantastic job of reminding you of who hurt you, reminding you of who stopped loving you, reminding you of what went wrong, reminding you of your mistakes. Why? Because your ego is not interested in your success. It doesn't care if you become the most powerful version of yourself. What it's trying to do is keep you from your spiritual awakening. And for some of you guys, it's doing a fantastic job. Fantastic. It carries all of your pain. It's like your shadow. When you walk outside, it's the equivalent of you walking outside right now and you saying, Coach, my shadow is upset. Coach, my shadow's in pain. Coach, my shadow is crying. Well, it's impossible for the shadow to be in pain. But the same way it's impossible for your shadow to be in pain, it's the same way it's impossible for your ego to be in pain. But your ego has you convinced that it is. Your ego, because you've created a separate self. That's the problem. You got the spiritual being in you, which is who you really are. And then you got this separate self that you created called your ego. And to your mind, your ego is what you call me. When you say me, you're talking about your ego. They lied to me, you're talking about the ego. They cheated on me, you're talking about the ego. They betrayed me, you're talking about the ego. That's the one that's recording all your pain. Everything that has ever went wrong to you, when you said fill in the blank happened to me, that's your ego that you're talking about, and it's recording all of that pain. And then it reminds you of that pain all throughout the day. It reminds you of who lied to you. It reminds you of who betrayed you. All of the people that you pick to enter your life, it's your ego doing the picking. When you say, I'm not going to open my heart to anybody else, that was your ego speaking. When you said, I'm not going to trust another man, that was your ego speaking. When you said, I'm not going to tolerate this and that was your ego speaking. Spirit hasn't woken up yet. So it's not spirit speaking in that moment. That's ego doing all the talking for you. The one who carries your pain. The one who carries your pain doesn't exist. They cannot exist outside of your physical body. It's a character that you created in your mind, and that's what healing is. Healing is waking up from the illusion. Healing is waking up from the story. Healing is dismantling the character that you've created. That's all healing is, beloved. When you stop reminding yourself of the story, it's not you doing it, it's just your ego doing it. It's all healing is. How can you heal a ghost? How are we going to heal you from the past and the past is not real? Just tell me how we do it. Because if you got a formula, let me know. I've been doing this for 2 decades. How can we heal you from a past that doesn't exist? How are we going to do it? That's why self-awareness is the most important thing in the history of your life. Because you'll never get to your purpose as long as the ego holds the steering wheel to who. We ain't gonna never discover what your purpose is. You're not gonna discover your purpose with your ego holding the steering wheel to who you are. Your ego won't never let you discover your purpose. Never. That's why step 1 to self-awareness is death of the personal ego. That's step 1. We can't even get to step 2 until we get step 1 knocked out. Until you understand who's the one that's holding all your pain. That's step 1. That's step 1. Ego death. You've heard about it before. And if you haven't, you have now. Ego death is the first thing in self-awareness, period. That's the first thing that's got to go. Ego, get to the back of the car. Now. We ain't going to negotiate. Ain't no more talking. Get to the back of the car. It's time for spirit to hold the steering wheel of who you are. All right, boom, let's get busy. The ego got to go immediately. Ego's all in the way. Got you thinking you in pain, and got you thinking you need to heal, and got you thinking you broken. That's your ego that's convincing you broken. That's your ego that's convincing you that you need to heal. That's your ego convincing you that there's something in you that needs to be fixed. No, you don't need to be fixed. You need to be understood. Once you understand yourself through self-awareness, you're going to understand, I don't need to be fixed. I was never broken. What's broken in you? Who's broken in you? The only thing that's broken in you is the story that you keep telling yourself that you need to heal. That's what's broken. That's the only thing that's broken. And when you understand self-awareness, you're going to understand why everything that ever happened to you and how critically important all of those things were, even the things that you've categorized as bad. They were all necessary, beloved, but you won't understand that now until you start diving into self-awareness. Then you'll understand. Poppy Chula, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Malika, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. All right, boom, we got work to do. Let's go. Let me say this real quick before we jump off the side of this mountain. We heal to heal. And once you get on the other side of your healing, God transforms you into the medicine. We heal to heal. And once you get on the other side of your healing, God transforms you into the medicine. That's what it's all about. Not relationships, not chasing people, not, oh, I'm so famous. It's not about that. You came here to experience, as a spirit, you came here to experience a certain amount of pain so that you can heal from that pain, so that you can be transformed into the medicine. For every single person that has experienced what you experienced leading up to this moment, we heal to heal. And then God transforms you into the medicine. He transforms you into the solution. He transforms you into the cure. He transforms you into the blessing. He transforms you into a reflection of Him. Every single person on the face of this earth, listen, God is hidden inside of every person the same way that fire is hidden inside of a matchstick. When you look at a matchstick, if you've never seen a matchstick before, you would have no idea that there's fire hidden inside of this matchstick. You have no idea. I'm talking about you just arrived at this planet today. You've never seen a matchstick in your life. You would have no clue that something so dangerous, so powerful, so deadly is inside of that matchstick, but it is. Now freeze that thought. You are the matchstick. Your pain has been striking against you. The failed relationships have been striking against you. Your childhood traumas striking against you. Everything that went wrong striking against you. The failed marriages striking against you. Every single thing that has gone wrong in your life is the equivalent of you taking a real matchstick and striking it against the box. And what happens that is that reality has been striking against you so that the fire can emerge. God is hidden inside of every person, the same way that fire is hidden inside of a matchstick. Here's the problem. For some of you guys, your matchstick is wet. What does that mean? When you don't believe in yourself, you dampen the matchstick. When you don't show up for yourself, you dampen the matchstick. When you tolerate disrespect, you dampen the matchstick. When you settle for less, you dampen the matchstick. When you don't show up as the most authentic version of yourself, you dampen the matchstick. When you allow people to just treat you any kind of way, you dampen the matchstick. A wet matchstick has no value. So just know that every time you allow someone to treat you less than you deserve, it's the equivalent of you taking that matchstick and just dipping it in water. If you've ever tried to light a wet matchstick, it's impossible. But that's what you're doing to yourself. God is hidden inside of every person the same way that fire is hidden inside of a matchstick. Let the fire out. That's what everything that's happened to you leading up to this moment, that's what it's designed to do. It's just things that have been striking against you until the fire emerges. That's the whole point. And here's what's important. It doesn't matter what's happening with someone else's matchstick. Your significant other's matchstick has nothing to do with you. Your kids' matchsticks have nothing to do with you. Your friends and family has nothing to do with you. You got to focus on getting the fire out of your matchstick. You can't be caught up wondering, okay, well, what's happening with them and why is it not? It's none of your business, beloved. Focus on getting your matchstick lit. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you look at that forest, for as massive as that forest is, you got poisonous snakes. The forest is not concerned. You got mountain lions walking around. The forest is not concerned. You got grizzly bears walking around. The forest is not concerned. Let me tell you what that forest is concerned about. I'm talking about 200 million trees. Let me tell you what that forest is concerned about. The match. The only thing that will make that mighty forest tremble is the match. Tiny little match. Tiny little match. That forest is not worried about bears. That forest is not worried about snakes. That forest is not worried about poisonous spiders. Not at all. Bring it. As soon as that match shows up, everything is trembling. You're the match. You shake the ground where you go. You don't show up small. You show up everywhere you go as the most powerful version of yourself. You don't tolerate disrespect. You say what you need to say with your whole chest and spirit. Speak your truth. Live your truth. You are God's match. He sent you to set the world on fire. Set it on fire. Papi Chulo, I see you. I see you, family. Do me a favor, real quick, you guys. Share the live to your stories, real quick for you. And I appreciate that, Pam. Thank you, beloved. Do me a favor, real quick. Lena, I see you. Do me a favor, real quick. Share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Let's get the likes up, you guys, so that we can get the medicine out. Enough with the appetizers. Let's get into the main course. Enough with the appetizers. Stay unbreakable. I love that. Yeah, enough with the appetizers. Let's get to the main course. Let's get to the main course. Here we go. Discipline isn't about adding more to your life. Not at all. Not at all. Discipline isn't about adding more to your life. Discipline is about removing what's currently holding you back. That's what makes you powerful. That's what makes you badass. It's not about what you add to your life. It's about you removing what's currently holding you back. That's what God is measuring your strength by. Your ability to remove what's currently holding you back. I don't give a damn what it is. Take God out of it. Take the kids out of it. We ain't talking about God and the babies. I'm talking about everything else has to go if it's holding you back. You can't claim to love yourself and love what's holding you back at the same time. You can't claim to love yourself and love what's hurting you at the same time. You can't claim to love yourself and love what's abusing you at the same time. Somebody lying here. Come on now. So discipline isn't about adding more to your life. Discipline is about removing what's currently holding you back. God isn't holding you back. Your lack of self-discipline is. People aren't defeated by the world. They are defeated by their lack of discipline. They give their power away to distractions and instant feelings. The number one reason why people won't become what they want is because they're too attached to who they've been. I said the number one reason why people won't become who they want is because they're too attached to who they've been. Discipline is showing God that your purpose matters more than your excuses. I said, discipline is showing God, not me, not your partner, not your friends. Discipline is you showing God that your purpose matters more than your excuses. Discipline is when your destiny is so clear that you stop negotiating with your feelings. Discipline means sticking to the plan, not your mood. Damn your mood. Man, we got to stick to the plan. Some of you guys aren't the most powerful version of yourself because you're listening to your mood. You're going off your mood. No, you got to go off the plan. Damn how you feel. Because you got to understand that your ego is in control of all of that. So it's going to remind you of something from the past. You're going to lose your feelings. It's going to remind you of something in the future. Now all of a sudden you ain't motivated anymore. It's going to remind, because your ego knows what you're trying to do. So you got to ignore how you feel. You got to stick to the plan. You got to understand that's your ego telling you, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym today. We can just go tomorrow. Oh, it's raining outside. You know, I don't feel like going to all that's ego talking. Discipline is choosing your future over your feelings, beloved. No, we got to focus on the future. Not how you feel in the moment. We ain't going to get nowhere because you're going to get to the future and you're going to have the same life you got right now. If you're negotiating with your mood, if you're negotiating with we're going to lose the game. That's why discipline is the most important thing in your life. We're going to lose the game, beloved. We're going to lose. When we sit right here a year from now, talking about what we're going to do for the new year and all of that, it's just going to be the same repeated cycle. Nothing changes until your mindset does. I don't give a damn how many vision boards you create. If we don't change the mindset, we ain't gonna never get to the vision board. See, the healer has to suffer first, and then we transform into the medicine. The healer has to suffer first. And then we transform into the medicine. I'm so thankful for my suffering. I'm so thankful for the pain, but I thank God every day for it. I thank God every day for it. The healer has to suffer first, and then we transform into the medicine. Once you become the medicine, you're the one in the Super Bowl. But if you don't have your pain, you can't transform into the medicine. If you don't have the suffering, you can't transform into the medicine. You're just looking at it through the wrong filter. You're looking at it as something bad. No, it's going to lead you to the greatest version of yourself. I'm telling you, I'm your future pushed out. I'm the future version of you made manifest right now. You get ready to become everything that I am in this moment and probably 10 times more than what I am. I'm telling you, God's going to transform you into something that's lethal. They ain't going to be able to touch you. But you cannot hate your way to a life that you love. So if you hate your way along the process, you know, and all these other things like that, then you're just honoring how God is moving in your life. That's why he has me in your life, so I can show you, so you can see what the finished product is. So you can know what the future looks like. You ain't got to wonder and guess like I had to. I didn't know what the future version of me was going to look like. I'm walking in the dark with a blindfold on. I was already in the dark and I had a blindfold on at the same time. I might as well have had. At least she gave you somebody to show you what it's going to look like when you get on the other side of it. But you cannot hate your way to a life that you love. Start being happy now. Start being thankful now. You don't wait till you get to the future to start being happy and start being thankful. Because you're not happy here and now, you'll never be happy there and then. Some of you guys are like that cargo ship in the middle of the ocean. Or that cargo ship is a bad boy. The captain of that cargo ship, whoo! You don't play with that boy. The captain of that cargo ship. You've seen those cargo ships. They got all those huge containers on top of them. I'm talking about this container stacked high on top of this cargo ship. But the weather took a change. And so that cargo ship, that bad boy is tipping like this. It's getting through the waves, but it's tipping. And that captain said, hey, we got to lose some of these containers. Because if we don't lose some of these containers, we're going to lose the whole ship. We can lose the whole ship. Yeah, I know some of them containers might have fine art. I know some of those containers might have expensive furniture. I know some of those containers might have cars and clothes. Then we better let go some of them containers go. You got to start thinking like the captain of that ship. Some of you guys got some containers in your life that you need to let go of. That being a metaphor for certain people. That being a metaphor for certain environments. That being a metaphor for certain things that you allow them to have access to you. Man, you got to drop some of them containers or we ain't going to make it to where we trying to go. You got to think like that captain. Now, he ain't going to let all the containers go. He going to let the containers go where there's just, listen, we got all the bad boys on the top. We need to let them go. We can keep some. We can't keep all of them. And he ain't going to feel no type of way. He going to call Hyundai, we had to let some containers go. He going to call Mercedes-Benz, we had to let some containers go. He going to call the furniture company, we had to let some containers go. I ain't going to feel no type of way about it. I'm not going to lose myself trying to hang on to the containers. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Some of you guys are losing yourself. You trying to hang on to the container. You get ready to go down with the ship. I'm thinking like that captain all day long. He ain't got a problem with it. I ain't got a problem with it. See, but then you'll have people say, ooh, that container got Rolls Royces in it. Ooh, that container right there got Mercedes-Benzes. Ooh, that container right there got jewelry and diamonds. And then you try to figure out how to hang on to the container and get across that and make it through that storm at the same time, then you lose the whole ship. There's some people on there right now, that's exactly what you would do if you was in the position of that captain. That being a metaphor to where you hanging on to the relationship past the expiration date. You ignoring the red flags that's showing up in your relationship. You ignoring the patterns because you're too busy listening to what they're saying. Patterns tell you who a person is, not words. Words don't tell you anything. Words gonna rock you to sleep. The patterns show you exactly who you're dealing with. You pay attention to the patterns, not the words, and you'll never get played, never get manipulated, never get taken advantage of. Doesn't matter what a person says, you watch what they do. We talk about this all the time. People see you how they need you. That's a hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth. People see you how they need you. When the need changes, the value that they place on you changes. You ain't heard none of what I just said. I said when the need changes, the value that they place on you changes. When the person has extracted whatever the value is that they got from you, whatever they came to get originally, that's when the behavior changes. When a person receives whatever it is that they originally came to get from you, the behavior changes. And the behavior changes because they've extracted whatever the value is. See, some people were never looking for a relationship with you. Some people just wanted to experience you, but they came in speaking the relationship language because they knew that there was no other way that they can get to you. So they came in saying what you wanted to hear. You were looking for something serious. They came in speaking that way because they understood they wouldn't be able to get what they wanted if they spoke to you any other way. So they played the game. They transformed into the character, got whatever it is they wanted from you. And then the behavior started to change. That's when the disrespect started happening. That's when the doors were no longer being opened. That's when the communication was dropping off. The flowers aren't coming. I don't hear from you like I used to. It takes you forever to text me back now. They've already gotten what they wanted. Now, I don't know what you were offering, but whatever they came to get, they got it. And I've been doing this for 2 decades now. I'm a master at this. When the value is high, when the communication is high, when the respect is high, when the love is high, when all of those things are high, it's because the value is high. They place high value on you. When there's low communication, when there's disrespect, when there's verbal abuse, takes you forever to text me back and all these other things. But in the beginning, you was texting me right away. I could text you 2 seconds, you texted me back. Why? Because there was value there. There was something that person needed. Once that person got what they needed, one more time, there's only 2 types of people you're going to meet. There's a person that wants a right now, and then there's a person that wants a forever with you. You were looking for a forever, but you came in contact with a right now. A person that only wanted to experience you temporarily. They weren't looking for anything long-term, but they were speaking long-term language. And that's what rocked you to sleep. How do I qualify this? Because the communication stopped. The flowers stopped. The romance stopped. The intimacy slowed down. The passion faded away. I can tell you what happened, and I wasn't even there. People don't neglect what they value. People don't neglect what they value. People don't neglect what they value. I'm going to keep saying this until it sinks in. People don't neglect or abuse or disrespect what they value. What they don't value, I'm going to let my silence have a conversation with you. People don't neglect what they value, beloved. Period. That's the whole relationship mastery right there. People don't neglect what they value. They don't disrespect what they value. They don't hurt what they value. They don't verbally abuse what they value, not what they value. Now, if I'm pretending to love you, it's going to happen. If I'm pretending to be in this thing 10 toes down, it's going to happen. All that pretending is letting you know that the person doesn't really place the value on you that you think they do. Let me change channels real quick. Let me change channels real quick. Because this could be part of the solution. It's not the entire solution, but it could be part of the solution. Part of the solution, maybe. The highest vibrational frequency on the planet is not anger. The highest vibrational frequency on the planet is not love, even though you've been programmed and conditioned to believe that it is. I'm here to tell you right now, it's not even close. And you're going to understand why in a minute. So the highest vibrational frequency on the planet is not anger, and it's not love. Because if you don't have this one thing, you'll never make it to love. You ain't gonna make it. Come on, Paulina. Come on, beloved. Thank you, Shonda. Do me a favor real quick, you guys. Do me a favor and share the live to your stories. No, consideration is the highest form of love in a relationship. So that was great, beloved. That was great. Who was that put consideration up there? Consideration is I love it when I'm triggered positively. I love it when I'm triggered positively because that was great. Not too many people know that. Good job on that, love. Good job on that. Good job on that. Consideration. Consideration is the highest form of love in a romantic relationship. Let me tell you why. That's why so many relationships are falling apart. That's why somebody's on their way to divorce court right now. There's some people on their way to divorce court right now because of consideration or lack thereof. Consideration means in a relationship, we think it's the romance. Nope, not that. We think it's the flowers and the candies and car. Nope, not that. It's consideration. When a person thinks about how their actions are going to affect you, that is genuine unconditional love. Not after they make the move, before they make the move. When a person thinks about how you might feel if I do X, that's consideration. I haven't called my partner all day. That's consideration. What am I doing? I'm slipping here. I haven't taken my baby out to eat in a little while. That's consideration. I've been working hard and I haven't been doing some of the things that I need to be doing that I would normally be doing. That's consideration. When a person is moving through life, not only thinking about how things benefit them, but thinking about how their actions and behaviors are affecting their partner as well. That's consideration. That's the highest form of love in a relationship, hands down. Because when you got a partner, I'm in the mall. Let me tell you how I move. I'm in the mall. I'm going to buy my partner something without them having to ask me. I already know their size. So I don't need to call and say, do you need something or do you want something? I'm already going to do it. When I'm at the restaurant ordering me something to eat, I'm automatically going to get my partner something. Automatic. I don't need to call. Whatever I'm doing for me in that moment, I'm doing for my partner as well. That's consideration. The same way I take care of me is the same way I take care of my partner. Now I may get that meal home and my partner may say, I'm not hungry. Oh, well, it's going to be here when you're ready. I may get that outfit and my partner doesn't need an outfit. Oh, well, one day you might want to rock it. That's consideration. This is why so many people don't have loyalty in their relationship because your partner ain't got no consideration. They're making decisions that only benefit them in that moment, not decisions that benefit you both. That's the problem. I don't give a damn how much money you make if you don't have consideration. I don't care how much big your house is if you don't have the consideration. If your partner is doing things and they're not thinking about you, you're in a relationship by yourself. Consideration means that I understand I've been working hard. Let me do something special for my baby. We haven't been romantic like that. Let me do something special for my baby. Let me, you already know. Your partner don't have to tell you. You ain't showing up. Where you been, and you've been absent from the relationship. I feel lonely, and your partner don't have to tell you all of that because you already know. You know that your actions and your behaviors in the relationship may be causing your partner to feel like this. And maybe, man, that's unconditional love at the highest level. That's real unconditional love. When we ain't even have the conversation, and I'm gonna tell you what's even more beautiful about consideration. When you slip in the relationship and your partner has that conversation with you to say, you know what? I know you love me. I know you this. I know you're not cheating on me. I know you've been working hard, but I've just been kind of feeling lonely in the relationship. You don't even argue because you already know. You don't even argue. Ain't no arguing going on. Ain't no what you mean. Your ego don't get all in the way because you already know. You already know you've been slipping. Not intentionally, but you already know. That's consideration. We talk about reflect in action and we talk about reflect on action. That's reflecting in action. Reflecting in action is you really catching yourself before you erupt and before you say all these things. You're reminding yourself of why you fell in love with this person. You're reminding yourself of why you want to be with them. You're reminding yourself of why you want a future with them, while the argument is happening in that moment. That's reflecting in action. Reflecting on action is once you leave that argument or once you leave that little misunderstanding, you're thinking about how you contributed and what your role was in that and what you could have done differently. That's reflecting in action. That's reflecting on action. It will make you a master in your relationships. Master. But that's why you want a man in your life that's self-aware. That's why you want a man in your life that's emotionally intelligent, because 9 out of 10 men can't tell you any of what I just said. Ain't got a clue. I'm not talking about the men on this platform, because the men on this platform are on a different level. I'm talking about 9 out of 10 men that are not a part of this conversation right now, can't tell you any of what I just said. Can't tell you what consideration is, let alone how to apply it. Tell me. I'm not talking about the brothers on this platform. When I say brothers, I'm not talking about black men. I'm talking about my spiritual brothers. Come on, Cosmic G. He's one of them. Rare. You want to talk about Rare? Rare is not that diamond that you pull out of the mall. Rare is not the Mona Lisa. Rare is the man that has emotional intelligence. Rare is the man who is self-aware. Rare is the man who's a master of himself, who's not projecting his pain onto everyone. You think Rare is the diamond. You think Rare is that painting. No, Rare is the man who is emotionally intelligent, who knows how to regulate his emotions, who knows how to not project his pain onto you. That's Rare. We place the wrong labels on things in this world that are rare. I got this rare car, man, damn that car. I got this rare diamond, damn that diamond. Nobody give a damn about that. Tell me. All right. Where we at? Pastor Tony, what's up, my brother? So good to see you, family. Kids, I see you. Kids, I see you. So one more time. Highest vibrational frequency on the planet is not anger. It's not hate. Hate's a bad boy now, but it's not hate. And it's not love. It's authenticity. When a person is being true and authentic to themselves, when you speak your truth at all times, not some of the time, not occasionally, not when it benefits somebody. No, you speak your truth at all times. That's authenticity. When you live your truth more specifically, that's authenticity. It's probably 9 out of 10 people on this app right now that you don't live your truth. You don't speak your truth. You might speak your truth when it's convenient, but you're not speaking your truth at all times. And the reason why authenticity is so important is because you can't get to unconditional love any other way. When you stop pretending and manipulating certain situations just to keep people in your life, when you love yourself enough to tell people how their actions affect you, that's authenticity. Think about it. How can you possibly expect to experience unconditional love if you're not being true to yourself? Unconditional love is unlocked when I'm operating out of my authenticity. Because when I'm operating out of my authenticity, I'm moving through the world as a version of myself that God created. I'm not a reflection of the world. I'm not a reflection of my pain. I'm not a reflection of my behaviors. I'm not a reflection of what went wrong in all my yesterdays. I'm moving through the world as the version of, now your program and conditioning might tell you, well, love is the highest vibrational frequency, but you can't unlock love if you're not being authentic first. I gotta be authentic first. Now I can tap into conditional love if I'm not being authentic, but I won't get any higher than that. Conditional love is the highest you can get, which is why so many relationships fall apart, because the person is not being authentic with you. They're not being real with you. So that means that they can only give you conditional love. They can only give you transactional love. You like me, I like you. You say hi to me, I say hi to you. You say good morning to me, I say good morning to you. You give me a kiss, I'll give you a kiss. All of that's transactional love. But all of that comes from the person not being their authentic selves. When you tap into your authenticity, that means you are operating and moving through the world as the version of yourself that God created. Unconditional love flowing through you like a river. But if I can't get into unconditional love pretending to be something that I'm not. Showing up small in the relationship, wearing the mask, not speaking my truth, tolerating disrespect. How you got unconditional love in your life and you moving like that? How you doing it? When you move through life as the most authentic version of yourself, you're the strongest version of you. Right? Now, you can gatekeep your truth, beloved. I'm not telling you don't do that, but when you gatekeep your truth, understand that you're not going to ever tap into unconditional love. Unconditional love and moving through your authenticity means because let me tell you why. Let me tell you why you got to move through your truth. I hear what you're saying, but let me tell you why. Who you putting on for? Show me one person. 8 million people on the face of this earth. Show me one person that don't have problems. Show me one person that doesn't have pain. Show me one person that doesn't have childhood trauma. Show me one person that's not living all in the future and all in the past. Show me one person that doesn't make assumptions about other people. Show me one person that doesn't have an ego. Show me one person that doesn't have all of that. And I'm going to tell you right now, you won't be able to, which means, why would you care? Why would you block yourself from experiencing unconditional love? Because you're gatekeeping your truth from some people that got just as many problems as you, got just as many struggles as you, have made just as many mistakes as you, have done just as many things in the dark as you have done. Ain't nobody special outside of you. Special comes from you. So I'm going to move to, and here's the thing. I wish I would tell you something and you reject what I say. You're going to be the first person out of my life. Like that cargo ship, you're going to be the first container to go. You're going to be the first container to go. So I'm moving through the world being exactly who I am. Now, I tell people this all the time. It's no one's business. This may be what you mean. This may be what you mean. This may be what you mean. This is what's important. When a person meets you, you get to meet me. You get to meet this version of me right here. That's what you get to meet. The only thing that's important is where we're going next with this friendship, with this relationship, with this partnership, with this fill in the blank. That's it. That's all. When a person meets you, you meet somebody today. Let's call him John. You meet John today. Boom, I just added John to my life. John gets to meet this version of me in this moment right here, and he's going to get to know every version of me from this moment moving forward. Who I was yesterday is none of John's business. The mistakes I made yesterday is none of John's business. How I may have failed is none of John's business. None of that is John's business. Some of you guys have become masters at oversharing. You telling people things that don't benefit them. Now, if it's going to make that person better, stronger, smarter, faster, then yeah, tell the person whatever you need to tell them. John may get to know about my kids. John may get to know about where I went to school. That's it. John may get to know about who my family is. It's going that river is going to be so shallow. That's what I'm saying. So it's not about you going and pouring out your whole life to some person. Nobody deserves to have that level of access to you. It's not that serious because you're not helping John become smarter with that. You just putting information in John's mind that he can't do nothing with, but weaponize that information against you later. I tell you guys this all the time. Stop giving people the blueprint on how to waste your time. Stop giving people the blueprint on how to play you. And every time you start telling somebody about who you were in all of your yesterdays, you give them the blueprint on how to play you. You're telling this person about who you used to be and what you did for them and who you used to love and the relationships you were in and they broke my heart. You doing too much. You gave them the whole blueprint on how to play you. And then the first argument you get in with that person, they're going to take all of that and spit that back up on you. They're going to regurgitate all that information. You didn't say that when so-and-so did this, and you didn't say that when such and such did that, and you didn't leave when so-and-so did this, and you the one gave them the weapons to use against you. You don't put people in your business like that. Don't nobody get to know you that deeply. Take your problems to God, not people. I tell y'all this all the time. Take your problems to God, not people. You want to vent to somebody, vent to him, because he ain't going to tell nobody. Your friend today could be your enemy tomorrow, and all of a sudden your business all out there in the street. I take everything I need somebody to know. I take it straight to God. Go ask him is what I'm going to tell you. You want to know who I used to be? Go ask God. He know. Whatever he tell you, I'm comfortable with. Watch how you shut the person down when you say that. Watch how you shut them down. Go talk to the manufacturer. That's what I tell them. Go talk to the manufacturer. Whatever he tell you, I'm comfortable with. I'm signing off on everything he said. That part right there. That part right there, Latina. That part right there, beloved. I'm telling you, you got to stop. I'm telling you because you guys, we overshare too much. And let me tell you why you overshare. We overshare anytime you're not confident in yourself. You overshare, or anytime that there's a silence or a break in the conversation, when you trying to fill that silence, you start saying things because you're not comfortable with the silence. So you got to fill that gap. You feel like you need to say something in that moment. You don't need to say anything. The person thinking the same thing you said. The only difference is that you jumped out there before they did, because right before you jumped out there, they was getting ready to jump out there. You just jumped off the cliff first. Everything you were feeling in that moment, they were feeling as well. Trust me when I tell you that. So tell me about your family. So tell me about your last relationship. So hell no. Let me tell you about who I am right now and where I'm going. And the only thing I want to know is how you going to benefit where I'm getting ready to go. That's the only thing I want to know. This is who I am right now. This is where I'm going. I'm going to the top of that mountain right there. How can you help me to get there faster? How can I help you to get to where you're going faster? That's it. That's something we need to be talking about. What else will we be talking about? Talking about the past won't build my future. How am I going to build my future talking about the past? You don't drive your car in reverse, stop living your life in reverse. I ain't never seen a person driving down the freeway in reverse, and neither have you. But we live our lives that way. Right? Do me a favor real quick, you guys. Yeah, cars are designed to go in reverse, not people. I don't do reverse. Do me a favor real quick, you guys. Let's share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Do me a favor and share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so, please. Let's get the likes up, you guys, so that we can get the medicine out. Baddest thing on the planet is you. That's not bumper sticker talk. I'm getting ready to qualify it, but that's not bumper sticker talk. You guys know I don't do bumper sticker talk. The baddest thing on the planet is you, period. And the day you fully believe that, that's, to be honest with you, that's why all the problems is there. That's been happening. That's why they're happening, because you don't fully believe that. You might believe it intellectually, but you don't fully believe it spiritually. Spiritually, you're not really connected to that. Like emotionally, you're not really connected to that. You know, for most people, it's when you fully embody that. That's game over. We say it because it sounds good. It sounds good as hell. We say it because it sounds good. It's when you really embody that. You really embody that. Let me say this real quick. let me say this real quick. Pain is your mentor. The only problem you have is you don't have a healthy relationship with it. Pain is your mentor. Pain is badass. I'll take pain over any one of my friends right now. Pain is what got me here. I'm telling you now, what hurts you in life is the way you describe it. What hurts you in life is the stories you create about it. Pain is your mentor. Most loyal thing to you is your pain. And the only thing that's hurting you is you don't understand why it's in your life. That ain't no different than having a treasure buried underneath your house. You sit here broke. You can't pay the rent. The lights getting ready to get turned off. You got an eviction notice on the front door. You got a whole treasure buried underneath the house. You sitting on a gold mine. You don't even know it. You got the landlord knocking on the door. You got the phone getting ready to. You got an entire treasure sitting underneath the house that your grandmother buried there. You don't even know it's there. That's pain. So how can you extract the value of something that you don't understand? How can you extract the value from something if you're looking at it through the wrong filter? Pain is your mentor. Become the medicine and not the sickness. So many of you guys have become the sickness. You ain't the medicine. Become the medicine, not the sickness. Healing is a process and not an event. It's not some event. Your first assignment is to outgrow the version of yourself that was built in pain. That's assignment number one. I said your first assignment is to outgrow the version of yourself that pain built. Or pain. I'm pain built. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Pain is divine intelligence. Pain is its own form of intelligence. I am pain built. I am not man built. I am not Harvard built. I am not Yale built. I am pain built. Pain built me. And the only way that pain is going to come into your life is because God sends it. It's its own form of intelligence because it's the entry fee to the life you want, I'm telling you. And the only thing that's hurting you, the way you're looking at it. One more time, your first assignment is to outgrow the version of yourself built in pain. That's step one. Pain is your breakthrough, beloved. Pain is the breakthrough. Some wounds don't bleed because they were designed to change you. I said some wounds don't bleed because they were designed to change you. There is no lesson more honest than your pain. Pain strips away the illusions. It strips away the lies you tell yourself. It strips away everything false in your life. That's what it's coming to do. Pain doesn't care about your comfort zone. And each time that pain strikes, it leaves a scar. Just a tiny little reminder that you survived something that was trying to destroy you. To awaken to what you are, you must let go of what you think you are. I said to awaken to what you are, you must let go of what you think you are. Far too many people are looking for the right person instead of becoming the right person. You looking for the right person in this relationship, and you looking for the right person over here, and I'm just looking. No, you got to become the right person. You won't attract the right person until you become the right person yourself. Because you will never attract what you are not the vibrational frequency of. You will never attract what you are not willing to become. So you can want this 5-star man and with this banging body and 6-figure income and 6-pack. You can want that all day long. You will never attract what you are not willing to become yourself. When you become it, you will attract it. That's law. So whatever it is you give in yourself, whatever level of love you give yourself, whatever level of respect you give yourself, who you become in the dark when no one's watching, all those little bad habits you might have, what you doing when no one is paying attention, and all these other things like that, that version of you that you become when nobody else is watching, just understand that every person that you add to your life is going to be a vibrational match to that version of you. That should scare you or ignite you. Now, if that version of you in the dark is phenomenal, you're going to catch somebody that's phenomenal. If that version of you in the dark is mediocre, you're going to catch somebody that's mediocre. Just understand. So before you start rushing to add all these people to your life, look at who you transform into when you're in the dark. See, we don't attract people into our lives based on the version of ourselves that we pretend to be. We don't attract people into our lives first upon that fake persona that we project on social media, where we only put the best pictures up there, and we only put the best videos up there, and we only put the things that show us in the best light. Hell no. If that's what you think, it's false. You are going to attract who you are in the dark when no one else is watching. Whoever that version of you is, the next person that comes into your life will be an energetic match to that version of you, not to who you promote yourself as. The way we speak to ourselves when things aren't going the way we want them to. The way we spiral into unhappiness and spiral into depression and spiral into anxiety and all, that's who you get ready to attract. Somebody that carries the same psychological wounds that you carry. I tell you guys this all the time. We meet people on the same level of psychological wounds that we carry. You just gonna meet you wearing somebody else's face. I promise you. That should scare you or ignite you. I said, no, I'm gonna do mine by myself. I don't need another me walking around. I'll do me by myself. Because I wasn't who I needed to be. See, when you say, why can't it be quicker, beloved, you're comparing your journey to somebody else's. That's the problem. You're assuming, that you behind. See, I tell you guys this all the time. You're not behind in life. You're not ahead in life. You're not winning in life. You're not losing in life. You're exactly where God has you. You're exactly where he needs you to be right now for your growth and your transformation to happen, for you to become the most powerful version of yourself. And see, when you move into life that way, you're operating from your expectations. That's an expectation. You outcome driven. No, you got to be process driven. Process driven meaning that I'm in love with who I am in this moment. I don't need to focus on, because see, if you don't love who you are in this moment, you're not gonna love who you are in the next moment. Because you're going to always want to work on yourself. You're going to always want to change yourself. You're going to always want to build yourself. There's always going to be something to work on. So you ain't going to have no love in your life. Not unconditional love. You're going to have conditional love, meaning that anytime that the sun and the moon and the stars line up the way you need it to be, you're going to give yourself permission to be happy. But the moment that something is out of alignment with what you think should happen in that moment, you're going to be unhappy. You're going to be depressed. You're going to have low vibrational frequency. You're going to be moody. You're going to be withdraw from people. You're going to be doing all of these things. No, you got to love who you are right now. Be happy with who you are right now. Be happy with where God has you at right now, your life. You can't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. You're not winning in life. You're not losing in life. You're not ahead in life. You're not behind. You're exactly where God has you. And if you don't love who you are now, you won't love who you are later. Because you're going to always find something on you that needs to be fixed. I'm telling you now. I tell you guys this all the time. The most important day of your life is the day that you decide that you are good enough for you exactly as you are right now. That's the most powerful day of your life. The most powerful day of your life is not when you get married. The most powerful day of your life is not when you have your baby. The most powerful day in life is not when you find that person that you've been chasing all day. The most important day of your life is the day that you decide, I am good enough for me exactly as if God don't do nothing else to me. If he don't bring me another person, I'm good enough for me right now. If I don't win another award, I'm good enough for me right now. If I got to move through my life with just me and him, I'm good enough for me right now. If you don't get to that place mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, you're going to be in trouble. That's the most important day of your life is the day that you, I didn't say the day I decided. And I didn't say the day that your significant other decided. The day that you decide. Stretch marks and all, I'm good enough for me. Baby weight and all, I'm good enough for me. Hair falling out and all, I'm good enough for me. No job and all, I'm good enough for me. Bad credit and all, I'm good enough for me. Broke and all, I'm good enough for me. If you don't get there now, you'll never get there later. Because your later is only a reflection of your now. So if you ain't got it now, you ain't gonna have it then. Your later is a reflection of your now. Whatever you feel about yourself now is what you're going to feel about yourself later. Universal truth. You got to get to that place first, beloved. See, we think we need something more than God. That's the real problem. We think we need something more than him. We need him, and then we need a man. We need him, and then we need a woman. We need him, and then we need the achievements. We need him, and then we need the money. We need him. At what point in time you going to just say, I got him? That's all I got in my life anyway. That's the only thing in your life anyway. If we're going to live in the truth, let's live in the truth. That's the only thing in your life. Everything else is only an extension of your life, or everything else is only something that's attached to your life. But there's only one thing in your life. There's two things in your life. There's you in your life, and then there's him. Ain't nothing else in your life. Everything else is only connected to your life through thought alone. Sit and look at your life right now. Tell me what's connected to you physically. Hey, but one thing connected to you physically, and that's him. Nothing else connected to you. Your spirit is interconnected with his. Nothing else connected to you. Everything else is connected to you through thought. Your pain connected to you through thought. The future connected to you through thought. The past connected to you through thought. Nothing else is connected to you. The only thing connected to you is him. So, which means what? Priority number one has to be him. Mission critical, him. My world spins and turns and revolves around here. I ain't say nothing about no church. I ain't say nothing about religion. I'm talking about your relationship with him specifically. I'm 10 toes down when it comes to him. Everything else is optional. I'm 10 toes down when it comes to him. That job is optional. I'm 10 toes down when it comes to him. That relationship is optional. When you start moving through life like that, it's game over. Because I'm not afraid to lose anything. I can lose that job. I don't give a damn. I got him. I can lose that person. I'm not tripping. I got him. As long as I got him, I haven't lost anything. When I have the job, but I don't have him, I lose. When I have the relationship, but my relationship with him ain't tight, I lose. That's why we suffer in life, because you don't have a powerful relationship with him. That's why the depression is in your life. It's there to let you know your relationship with him is weak. That's why the anxiety is there. It's there to let you know your relationship with him is weak. That's why the fear is there. It's here to let you know your relationship with him is weak. Strengthen your relationship with your source. Then you don't have the depression. You don't have the anxiety. You don't have the fear. You don't have the doubt. You don't have the one day, when is it going to happen for me? All that's not in your mind, because you will be present and in this moment. And you have to understand this and move through life wherever you are, he is. Once I fully understand that, it was game over. I appreciate that, Coach. Thank you, beloved. Wherever you are, he is. I ain't got time for fear. I don't have time for some low vibrational conversation with some. I don't have time for that. Well, let's get busy, getting busy. I'm telling you right now, you're the baddest thing on the planet. I said the baddest. The only problem you might have is the people you allow to have access to you. That might be your only problem. Problem number two, problem number one, the relationship. That's what I tell people all the time. Oh, I love God, but you got all this fear in your life. Oh, I love God, but you got depression going on. Oh, I love God, but you got anxiety going on. All of these things are indicators that you are out of alignment with the truth, that you are out of alignment with reality, that you are out of alignment with your highest and best self. I would say some of them, all of them. They're all indicators. All indicators. So when I hear people say that, I'm like, they don't even know who they're talking to right now. You're talking to a great right now. You sitting here telling me about how powerful your relationship is, but you sitting here telling me you're depressed in the same breath. You telling me about how powerful your relationship is, but you got all this anxiety in you in the same breath. You got fear in you in the same breath, but you telling me faith and fear cannot exist in the same moment. Which one do you represent? God and fear cannot occupy the same moment. Which one are you representing? Because if I'm holding on to him, I'm not worried about fear. Where God is, fear is not. Where fear is, God is not. Which one is it? I'm just asking. It's not a math problem. Some of us are doing a little bit too much pretending. That's the problem. The same energy that it takes you to pretend is the same energy that it takes you to transform. I'm so 10 toes down when it comes to God. I would fear. I wish fear would. Wish I would be depressed. I'm jumping off the cliff and I'm building my wings on the way down. Guarantee I don't hit the floor. Guarantee it. I'm jumping off the cliff. Shonda, I'm telling you, beloved, I'm jumping smooth off the cliff. I ain't staying in the relationship past the expiration date. I'm jumping off the cliff. I ain't staying at the job that doesn't make me happy anymore. I'm jumping off the cliff. He gonna catch you every time. That's the problem. You ain't jumping. You too busy thinking. You standing at the edge of the cliff thinking about what's gonna happen. You trying to predict the outcome. That's what's producing the anxiety. You trying to control the outcome and figure out what's gonna happen. Jump off the cliff. Give him a shot. Some of you guys right now are in relationships that you don't want to be in because of fear. It got nothing to do with love. Love left a long time ago. You in a relationship that you don't want to be anymore because fear is keeping you there. But I love God, but you got all this fear in you. Fear is keeping you in situations that you no longer want to be in. Waking up every day to a life that you don't love, but you claim to know God. How you know him and you got fear in your life at the same time? How you got faith in him and fear in you at the same time? Just help me understand how you're doing it. Hey, Town, what's up, family? So good to see you, beloved. I'm just asking. I'm not asking you to change your life. I promise you I'm not. I promise you I'm not. My job is to just give you a different filter to see life through. Because I'm telling you right now, he is pure strength. You don't know what strength is. This ain't, I don't know too many people more confident than me. He is pure strength. Ain't no sugar in his conversation. The sugar be in our conversation. Tiptoeing around this person and not saying what we really want to say. Oh, he gonna say exactly what need to be said. Don't give a damn about how you feel. I created all of this. He is pure strength. And you are created to be an extension of that. You are the reflection of that. You are a wave in his ocean. Now, just like the real ocean, you got some small waves, you got some big ones. No two waves in the ocean are the same. And no two people that God has created are the same. Now, you can be the biggest wave in his ocean or the smallest. That part's up to you. But the point not to be missed is that the wave is only a different expression of the ocean. It's not separate from the ocean, it's a different expression of it. So how's the ocean going to be strong, but I'm weak? How's the ocean going to be powerful, but I'm powerless? How is the ocean not showing up small, but I'm showing up small? And I'm made of the same ilk. Just make it make sense. Come on, Silver CEO. Come on, beloved. We got to let him know. Do me a favor real quick, you guys. Share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Do me a favor and share that part right there. That part right there. That part right there. Fit. How you gonna do it? How you gonna have faith in him and fear in you? Just tell me how you do it. Again, do me a favor real quick, you guys. Share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. We get ready to get into the live. We ain't even got to the live yet. Live getting ready to start right now. The live getting ready to start right now. We ain't even started the live. We get ready. You bet. What's up, beloved? So good to see you. April, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. I'm so happy you're in the community, April. So happy you're in the community. I'm gonna send you a message, beloved. I got you. Look at my tar. Look at my tar. I got my car in the building. We get ready to start the live right now. Right now. Heavenly, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Right now. I'm talking right now. We're jumping all the way off the side of the building. We can give a damn who's standing over there. Jesus helps. What's up, beloved? All right, come on, Sefe. We driving. Sefe driving. I'm going to get in the back seat. Sefe driving. I'm going to get in the back seat. Let me just say something real quick. He here every day. He is here. So do me a favor, Tar, do me a favor and pin Sefe to the grid, beloved, please. He's here every day. He's been rocking with me since day one. He gonna show up. He's going to apply the information. He loves his coach. It's so much love with the relationship. That's why I'm so thankful when it comes to self-awareness, because it brought me here. It's going to bring you some of the best people in the world, but I want to get out of groupthink. I just want to focus on him. It's going to bring you some of the best, but he here every day. No complaining, showing up, applying the information, transform. He's so powerful now, it's mind-blowing. I promise you he could get up here and do this live just like I'm doing. So powerful, so loyal, so locked in. But most importantly, he's disciplined and he applies the information. He don't question it, no pushback, no anything. That's how he transformed. That's what it takes. It takes dedication. He wasn't like, Coach, when is it going to happen? What day? Why is it taking so long? You know, none of that. None of that. You know, so like I say to you guys, we have to celebrate the men on this platform, you guys. We don't give the men enough credit. We got to celebrate the men that's showing up every day, putting in the work. That's how this world is going to change. This world is going to change because of the men going to change. The women, we don't. Yeah, I want the women to become self-aware. Absolutely, beloved. But they're not the ones building these bombs. They're not the ones kicking these wars off. They ain't the ones got all this drama going on in the politics and all of that. It's not the women that's kicking all of that off. It's the men that's kicking that off. All this violence, historically speaking. This world changes based upon how these men are getting ready to start moving through the world with respect to emotional intelligence and self-awareness and self-mastery. That's the key. Women already got it. You guys take to it like a fish to water. For men, we weren't raised that way. We were told to suppress our emotions, to suppress our feelings. So for any man that's coming into this, really, he's learning something brand new. It's almost like a new language for him. You guys been in touch with your feelings as women. Been in touch with your emotions. It's nothing new for you guys. So this is like you guys are taking like a fish to water. For us, it's like learning a whole new language. So for any man that's willing to put that level of work in, like the Sefes of the world, the Mooses of the world, right? The 8 towns of the world. Come on, man, you got to show up. The Cosmic G's, Kev. Right? Big homie. Showing up every day. All right, let's get busy. Rich, showing up every day. Showing up. All right. All right, let's get busy, y'all. I just gotta, you gotta shout that out because, as men, you just gotta shout that out, man. You have to. We don't celebrate each other enough as men. We too busy trying to compare ourselves to the other man. We don't celebrate each other. Divine is another one. He one of the first ones I should have mentioned. So all right, let's get busy getting busy. You're welcome, Rich. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Rich. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm honored. I'm honored. To be connected to you. Through self-awareness, which is spiritual intelligence. I'm honored. It's a relationship that I will always that I honor. Because it's a relationship that God brings together. You honor the relationship that He brings together. You have relationships in life that you was holding the steering wheel to, and then you have relationships in life that God put together, and those relationships you honor, at the highest level. All right, boom, let's get busy. Again, you got a 2-minute favor real quick, share the live to your stories. If you haven't already done so, share the live to your stories real quick. David's another one. Beast mode he go beast mode in the community. He's another one. All right, boom, let's go. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. We think it is. We've been programmed and conditioned to believe it is. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. The greatest tragedy in life is living life and never discovering your purpose. Greatest tragedy in life is not death. The greatest tragedy in life is living your entire life And you never discovered your purpose. You never discovered why you were born. Never discovered it. Most people are not failing because they're lazy. They're failing because they are ignorant of their value. They don't know their worth. And whenever you don't know the value of something, you abuse it. Listen, whenever you don't know the value of something, you abuse it. When you don't understand your worth, you mistreat yourself. That's why all these people stay in these toxic relationships. You don't know your worth. Ain't no way you can say you know your worth and you stand in a toxic relationship at the same time. Ain't no way you can say you know your worth and you stand around these low vibrational people. Ain't no way you can say you know your worth and you in environments that don't reflect the version of you that God created. Ain't no way you can say that. But we say it because it sounds good. Ain't no way you can say you know your worth, but you accepting less than you deserve at the same time. Ain't no way. When you don't understand your worth, you mistreat yourself, beloved. You tolerate things that you shouldn't. You settle for things that you should never accept. You live beneath your potential, not because God designed you that way, but because you don't see yourself the way God sees you. That's the whole problem. Success does not begin with money. It does not begin with education. It does not begin with your connections. Success begins when you value yourself correctly. Success begins when you value yourself correctly. Because you will never rise in life above the value you place on yourself. Think about what I'm saying. You will never rise in life above the value you place on yourself. If you see yourself as small, life will treat you that way. People will treat you that way. If you see yourself as insignificant, opportunities are going to pass you by. Not because God withheld them, but because you're not internally prepared to handle them. In the kingdom of God, everything begins with purpose. Let me say that one more time. In the kingdom of God, everything begins with purpose. God never creates anything without a reason. Get everybody else out of your mind because you won't hear what I'm saying. I need you to be selfish right now. I need you to be the most selfish person in the world right now. And I just need you to think about yourself. Just for the rest of this live. Just think about yourself. Just be selfish. Because you won't hear this message if you don't. We've been programmed in this. We always thinking about what's in somebody else's best interest and what they need. No, I need you to think about you for a minute. God never creates anything without a reason, beloved. Nothing in life is accidental. You are not a mistake looking for a mission. You are a spiritual being sent here on a mission. I said, you are not a mistake looking for a mission. You are a spiritual being that was sent here for a mission, specifically by God. Which means that has to be priority number one. And you were given a physical body to help you carry out the mission. This is universal truth I'm giving you here. It's not my opinion. You were given a physical body to help you carry out the mission. So your value is not determined by what you do. Your value is determined by why you were created. Your value is not determined by what you do. Your value is determined by why you were created. Your value is determined by the mission that God has you on. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Your value is determined by the mission that God has you here on. We don't know what the strength of that mission is. We sit here measuring ourselves to other people and measuring ourselves to this person's chapter 20 and our chapter 1, measuring how we look against this person, and he's handsome and she's pretty, and you distracting yourself, beloved. You caught up in worldly things. Your value is determined specifically by why God created you for the mission that you are on. Your value is not determined by likes and shares or how pretty or handsome you might be. It's not determined by your material possessions. It's not determined by your money or how many people you can get to like you. It's not determined by any of that. But that's the metric that we use to apply to ourselves. The world has programmed you to measure yourself that way. So that stops you from seeing your value. Because you're trying to get your value through the eyes of other people. And we oftentimes will measure our value by how other people see us, by the value they place on us, by how much they respect us or like us or love us. We get our value from things like that. Just look at how God sees your value and look at how you see it. Just look at the vast difference between the two. He's looking at your value based upon why he created you. You looking at your value based upon what you've achieved. You looking at your value based upon your level of education. You looking at your value based upon who loves you or who doesn't. I'm just trying to get you to see it. I'm asking you to change anything. He looking at you this way, you looking at yourself that way. And then we wondering why we depressed. Wondering why you got all this anxiety. Wondering why we sit here with all this unhappiness in our life. You looking at yourself through the wrong filter, beloved. If you can see yourself through the way that he sees you, I promise you, everything you think is wrong with you would vanish. The world has programmed and conditioned us to see ourselves in a way where we're always comparing. We always think that people have it better than us. We always think something's wrong with us. We broken. We need to heal. That's worldly stuff. You are a spiritual being, not of this world. And we don't know that. If we don't know anything else, we know that. Your spirit came here. It's not from here. Don't ever get that confused. Let me say that one more time. Your spirit came here. It's not from here. Let me say that one more time in case your earpiece may have fallen out. Your spirit came here. It's not from here. And it does not stay here when your host body expires. See, here's the problem. We live in a world that measures value by performance. We live in a world that measures value by performance. If you produce a lot, you are valuable. Not to me. That's the world's concept of what value is. You produce a lot, you're valuable. If you don't produce a lot, you are ignored. That's how our world works. If you produce a lot, high value they're gonna place on you. If you don't produce a lot, they're gonna ignore you. Those are the filters. I'm just trying to show you the difference between how we see ourselves from a worldly perspective versus how we are should be looking at ourselves from a spiritual perspective. That's all I'm trying to get you to understand. But the kingdom of God doesn't measure value that way. God does not measure your value based upon productivity. He measures your value based on purpose. He sees your value based upon your purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, then you don't know your value. Which means you borrow your value from somebody else. From how they appraised you, from how they see you, from how they respect you, from how they respond to you. You're borrowing your value from something outside of you when you don't know it yourself. God sees your value based upon your purpose. We're looking at value based upon what we've achieved, based upon how much money we have in the bank. And when that dwindles, your value dwindles. Person stop loving you, your value dwindles. Lose your job, your value dwindles. You don't see the problem with that? I'm just asking. I'm not asking you to change your life, but do you not see the problem with that? I'm going to tell you the most important sentence in the history of important sentences with respect to value. A thing is valuable not because of how busy it is. A thing is valuable because of what it's designed to do. One more time. A thing is valuable in God's mind, not because of how busy it is. It's valuable because of what it was designed to do. Everything in life gets its value from what it's designed to do. But if you don't know what you're designed to do, and if you don't know your purpose, then you really don't know your value. Your value is intrinsic, beloved. It's not earned. You came with the value. God knew your purpose before you ever showed up. So you don't earn your way to your value. You don't marry your way to your value. You don't promote your way to your value. Your value is intrinsic. It's not something that you can earn. I don't give a damn how many books you read. You're not going to increase your value because your value is intrinsic. You'll increase your knowledge. not your value. Your value is already cemented. You can't diminish it. You can't increase it because it's what it already is. Can you increase your knowledge? Absolutely. Can you increase your thoughts? Absolutely. Can you increase your behaviors all day long, but not your value? You can't never lose it because God the one put it in you. You ain't losing that. And he did that for a reason. Because you might lose some money in the world. You might lose some friends in the world. You might lose some people in the world. That's impermanence, meaning everything in your life is going to shift. He wanted to make sure that your value would always stay the same. And the day that you discover your value, your emotions won't waver anymore. Your feelings won't waver anymore. That depression won't be there anymore. That fear won't be there anymore. All of these things are coming because you don't know who you are, not because you do. So one more time, your value is intrinsic, not earned. Value is the worth placed on something by its creator. Listen to what I'm saying to you, beloved. Please, please listen to what I'm saying. Value is the worth placed on something by its creator. That means that you don't even determine your value. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't determine your value. You don't have the power to determine your value. Value is determined by the creator. Same way if I make a new phone today, the phone doesn't come with a built-in price tag. The phone is worth what I say it's worth. Then what the phone says, the phone is worth what I say it's worth. If I go and create a new car, the car is worth what I say it's worth. I created it. I don't care what the car is saying. I don't care what the people looking at the car is saying. The car is worth what I say it's worth. God is saying you are worth what I say you are worth, not what the world says you are worth. And that's the problem. What he says you're worth and what you're saying you're worth are probably miles apart. Miles apart. That's what hurts us. One more time. Value is the worth placed on something by its creator. That means that you don't determine your value. Society doesn't determine your value. Your culture doesn't determine your value. God does. Get to that place right there, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Get there. I'm going to give you to you in a way I know you can't miss it. For example, if I buy a pen, talking about me, if I buy a pen for $1, it means that the pen is worth $1 to me. If I buy a house for $1 million, it means that the house is worth $1 million to me. God created you for himself. That means that your value is beyond your calculation. It's beyond your calculation. Because you don't know how important you are to him. You don't know what the price is of that. You don't know what level of value it is he's placing on you. So it doesn't matter what the people in your friend circles might have to say. It doesn't matter what your significant other says. It doesn't matter what your job is saying. They're all wrong, dead ass wrong. It doesn't matter what the people on social media say. Doesn't matter what your bank account is reflecting. Doesn't matter what your level of education might reflect. All wrong. You're using the wrong metrics. I'm talking about dead ass wrong. You ain't gonna never see yourself in the right way if you're looking through the wrong window. You're carrying the wrong reflection. You're carrying the world's reflection. But you got to carry that reflection that God has for you. So why do you think so little of yourself? That's what's important. Why do you think so little of yourself? That's what he wants to know. I'm not asking that for me. Why do you think so little of yourself? Why do you speak negatively about yourself? Why do you tolerate mediocrity when I created you for greatness? Why do you tolerate that? I'll tell you why. Because you don't see yourself the way God sees you. Here's what you have to understand. The enemy's first assignment is not to destroy you physically. No. The enemy's first assignment is not to destroy you physically. It's to distort your self-worth. Because once you don't value yourself, you're going to sabotage your own destiny. So the enemy won't attack you physically. The enemy will get you to attack, is going to attack your level of worth. Because once you have a low self-concept, once you have low levels of self-love, conditional love, you don't place high value on yourself, you're going to sabotage your own future. You're going to ruin your own destiny. The enemy doesn't have to do anything anymore. You're going to do all the work. If you're staying in a relationship past the expiration date, you're doing the work for the enemy. If you're tolerating disrespect, you're doing the work for the enemy. If you're not showing up as the most authentic version of yourself, you're doing the work for the enemy. If you're not loving yourself unconditionally, you're doing the work for the enemy. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. The enemy is not going to attack you physically. The enemy is going to have you questioning your own work, having you confused, walking on eggshells, tolerating disrespect, tolerating verbal abuse, thinking that you can't do better than what you already have, even though what you already have isn't what you want, need, and desire. The moment you don't value yourself, you're going to sabotage your own destiny. That's it. If you're procrastinating You're sabotaging your own destiny. You're showing up small in your own life. You're sabotaging your own destiny. You're not loving yourself unconditionally. You're sabotaging your own destiny. You don't have a growth mindset. You're sabotaging your own destiny. You don't have a burning desire to become something greater than you are right now. You're sabotaging your own destiny. You're living out of your comfort zone. You're sabotaging your own destiny. Fear has a seat at the table of your decision making. You're sabotaging your own destiny. The enemy doesn't need to hurt you because clearly you are hurting yourself. Everything that God creates is designed with a purpose. A purpose determines function. If you misuse a thing, you abuse it. If you misuse a thing, you abuse it. If you are misusing your body because of drugs, you're abusing it. If you are misusing your body because of alcohol, you're abusing it. If you're misusing your body because you're not working out consistently, you're abusing it. If you're misusing your body because you're not giving it the right foods and the right amount of water and working out consistently and all of those, you're abusing it. Whatever you misuse, that's abuse. And abuse always leads to destruction. Always. That's why so many people are tired, frustrated, and empty. They are using themselves for purposes they were never designed for. They are chasing money instead of purpose. When you unlock your purpose, money will chase you. They are chasing applause instead of assignment. And whenever you pursue something other than your purpose, you pay for it. With frustration, stress, depression. Potential is the hidden ability within a thing that is yet to be released. Everything that God creates comes with potential, but potential is not automatic. Potential must be developed. Potential demands discipline. And here's the point not to be missed. You will never invest in what you don't value. I said you will never invest in what you don't value. If you don't value yourself, you will not discipline yourself. If you don't value yourself, you will not train your mind. If you don't value yourself, you will not guard your time. If you don't value yourself, you won't protect your environment. If you don't value yourself, you won't refine your gifts. Because discipline is a declaration of value. Discipline is proof that your destiny matters to you. Let me say that one more time. You will never invest in what you don't value. Look at that from a relationship perspective. If the person doesn't place high value on the relationship, they're not going to invest in that relationship. And invest, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about energy. I'm talking about communication. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about effort. I'm talking about passion. I'm talking about showing up, empathy, understanding. If I don't value the relationship, I'm not investing in it. Now I'm giving you a filter to see your relationship through right now. So if there's no communication and the love is breaking down and the passion is breaking down and the intimacy is breaking down, all of these things are breaking down in the relationships because somebody no longer places value on the relationship. You will never invest in what you don't value. You will never invest in. And if you don't value yourself, you won't discipline yourself. So if you're not disciplined right now, what I'm really saying to you is that you don't value yourself. Period. Because if you value yourself, you're going to turn your discipline up all the way to a 20 right now. If you don't value yourself, you won't train your mind. You're going to buy a book, read a couple pages, you're going to sit it on the coffee table, and that book going to be there for the next 3 years, sitting in the same spot. When you don't value yourself, you don't guard your time. And when you don't value your time, no one else will value it either. I will never place greater value on your time than you do. See, people don't wear expensive watches to tell the time. People wear expensive watches to let you know my time means something to me. So that person walking around with a $400,000 watch on is not trying to shine on you. What they're letting you know is, I know the value of my time. Do you? Oh, coach, you always wearing them expensive watches. That's because my time is valuable. I don't need to tell the time. I can go get a $20 watch to tell the time. I'm letting you know my time is valuable to me. That's what the watch symbolizes. They ain't got nothing to do with the time. See, we got that part twisted. And if you know, you know. People sitting there, oh, he walk around, he got $200,000 watch on. He got a $300,000 watch on. That man didn't buy that watch because he needed to tell the time. That man bought that watch because he's letting you know his time is valuable to him. And if you don't understand that, you're going to be lost in the sauce. You think he's shining. No, he's letting you know what his time means to him or her. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect. Discipline is self-love. Discipline is a reflection of the value that you place upon yourself. Period. That's all it is. Discipline is a reflection of the value you place upon yourself. When you wake up early in the morning to develop your God-given gifts, what you're saying is, I matter. That's what discipline means. When you wake up early in the morning to develop whatever your God-given gifts are, that's what you're saying when you apply discipline. I matter. When you say no to distractions, you're saying my purpose is important to me. That's discipline. When you walk away from toxic relationships, you're saying I value myself and my future. I'm not going to sit here negotiating with you, trying to get you to see my worth, because you ain't going to ever be to see it. Only the Creator can see your worth. Only the Creator can see your value. Nobody else can see it, not even you. Doesn't come from you. You're not the manufacturer. You're the result. You're the result. You can't go off these worldly calculations. Success begins when you value yourself enough to live intentionally. God will never bless what you don't value yourself. And I think that's where we struggle the most. We want him to bless things that we don't even value. I said, God will never bless what you don't value yourself. Let me give you an example of what I mean. If I were to give you a brand new car and you never service it, give you a brand new car, you never service the car, never change the oil, never check the engine, well, what's going to happen to the car? The car will eventually break down. Not because the manufacturer was bad, but because the owner was careless. This is your car. How are you taking care of the car? Before you can start focusing on, bless me with this, can you give me that? Can you change this? How are you taking care of the first gift? This was the first gift. He's looking at you like you're not taking care of the first gift. You already asking me about the second, third, fourth, fifth. You're not taking care of the number one asset that I gave you. Two assets, your mind, second asset, your physical body. How are you taking care of the assets? See, we've been programmed and conditioned to only take care of what the asset produces. That's what you focused on. So you focusing on the relationship, you focused on the job, you focus on your friends, you focus on social media, you're focusing on things that your asset produces. And then when it's time to take care of the asset, I'm tired. I'll do it later. I'll start tomorrow. I'll start next week. Are you tripping? The asset is priority number one. Not what the asset creates. I don't even focus on what the asset creates because that's not important. That's just my fruit. So how are you taking care of the number one asset? That's what's important. God is looking at us like you're not even managing what I've already given you. You ain't managing that. You struggling to manage that. If I add more things to your life, the asset gonna be in trouble. If you're not taking care of the asset with a little bit of stuff you got right now, how you gonna take care of the asset when you get this dream life that you want? If you're not doing it now, you're just gonna be busier. Think about what I'm saying. What's important, and then if you haven't discovered your purpose as of yet, you're really gonna be in trouble. Because now you just got more stuff in your life to manage. It's not that you need more stuff. We need to master what's already there. And all of that comes from discipline. Life is not just mastering the ability to know what you want. It's about also mastering the ability to let go of what you don't want, to let go of what's no longer serving you, to let go of what's no longer, that's discipline. Back to that cargo ship example I gave you guys. You can't just know where you want to go in life. You got to also know what's keeping you from getting there. Because if you don't understand what's keeping you from getting there, you're never going to make it to where you're trying to go. We so offensive minded that we're only focused on where we're trying to go. We're not focused on all of the things that can potentially keep us from getting there. Even if that thing is a version of you that you need to let go of. Even if that thing is some negative habit. Even if that thing is something you do in the dark. Whether that's gambling or drinking or smoking or drugs or porn or whatever the case may be. Don't just focus on where you go, and focus on also on what's stopping you from getting there or what could potentially stop you from getting there. That's mastery. See, sometimes we ask God, we pray to God, and we asking Him to fix our life. And He's saying to you, maintain your life. You don't need me to fix it. You need to maintain it. Doesn't need fixing. You need to maintain it. When you got discipline, and I tell you guys this all the time, we are 4 parts of a collective whole. You got your physical world, your mental world, your spiritual world, and your financial. We are 4 parts of a collective whole. I appreciate the gifts, beloved. 4 parts of a collective whole. Do you have mastery in all 4 quadrants of your life? Because why would He add more to your plate if you haven't mastered what's already there? Your body is valuable. Your mind is valuable. Your time is valuable. And success begins when you treat them that way. Success is not money. Money is the result of success. Success is not fame. Fame is the byproduct of your success. Success is becoming who you were created to be. That's success. Because you can be rich and still be unsuccessful. You got the wrong idea of what that means. You can be filthy rich and still be unsuccessful. You can be popular and still be unsuccessful. Success is measured by your purpose, not by your possessions. Look at all of the people that have all of this success, but you're depressed because you're not in alignment with your purpose. You got fame, but you're depressed. So you got all of the external trappings of success, but you're out of alignment with your purpose. So you can be rich and be unsuccessful. Success is when you are operating as the version of you that God created. Success is when you are operating out of your purpose. So we got programmed and conditioned to think that success means you got a certain amount of money, or you live in a certain house, or you got a certain type of car, or whatever it is that's happening at your job. No, because you can have all of that and still be depressed. Some of you guys have powerful positions out in the workforce, but you don't feel fulfilled. You got the kids, but you don't feel fulfilled. You got money in the bank, but you don't feel fulfilled because you're not in alignment with your purpose. Success is equal to your purpose, not your possessions. That's why we all in trouble. That's why so many of us are mentally unhealthy, because we started chasing the success that the world told us to chase. And then you got it, but you still felt empty. You got it, but you felt empty at the same time. One more time, success is measured by purpose, not by possessions. And you will never pursue your purpose seriously until you take your life seriously. Let me say that one more time. You will never pursue your purpose seriously until you value yourself deeply. Your value is not based upon what you have. Your value is not based upon your behavior. Your value is based upon your intent. It's based upon your purpose. All right, I'm gonna set my mic down right there. Well,